Hey you, yeah you, are you looking for an escape? Maybe just for an hour to laugh, cry, roll your eyes, or even just have a minute to yourself.
Or ever just want to embrace your feminine side, and what better way to do that than have the color pink riding shotgun, as pink isn't just a color, it's a state of mind. Thanks Audrey Hepburn for that quote.
Then look no further. Introducing the new podcast, Truth and Pink.
We're Sarah and Channa, 1979 Gen X, strong. But more Zennials, that forgotten little slice of Gen X with just enough millennial edge to know what TikTok is.
But way too cool to care.
What is happening, Truth Babes? Here we are back again. Truth and Pink coming at ya. Channa, what is your day today? Black-hearted? Pink?
No.
Pink with black hearts?
Always black hearts. But today was definitely a pink day. Lots of driving, scooting around kids, doing all that stuff. We threw a surprise birthday party for a friend of ours, which is always fun, which almost got scuffled at the last minute.
Oh no.
So that was kind of funny. Well, her boyfriend was supposed to take her back in the back, right? So his excuse was, oh, something's happening with the dogs. And so he took her back there and she's like, why is this necessary? And he's like, I just need you to see the thing. And so then I snuck in and I have a cake and flowers and I'm like, ugh. And then all of a sudden I see her in the back coming back and I'm like, ah!
Oh no. And did she see you?
No, I threw it at one of the other guys. And so then he's hiding behind the wall and I walk in, hi, how are you? What are you doing? And then her boyfriend's like, come on, we gotta go. And I look at him and he's looking at me like, it was hilarious. Because then
shenanigans,
standing behind the wall with stuff going, okay, if she walks this way, I'll walk over here. If she walks this way. So it was great. And then we did the line of people to get, they had blown up 20 or 30 balloons and hid them in a room and we had to get them all out. And so it was the production line where it was balloon, 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 balloon. Yes.
My goodness.
It was really cute and hilarious.
Fun chaos. I'm just going to blow right past the fact that you have other friends, so whatever. I'm just going to blow past that.
Yeah, but yes.
Okay,
all right. We won't talk about it. We won't talk about it.
The audacity, but whatever. So
it rolls around that talks about it's okay that you have with other friends as long as you know that I'm the better friend or that I'm the best friend, or don't go around trying to think that you can get a better friend than me.
How dare you think that?
Yeah.
No.
So.
No, I'm secure. It's fine. We just don't need to talk about it. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's
fine. Everything is fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, so today, Truth Babes, we are going to talk a little bit of maybe husband drama, maybe relationship drama, maybe bring up some stuff maybe that you're going through or maybe you've gone through before. It's time for the husbands to take a turn in the cycle of the truth and pink and the truth that we're delivering. So we promise not to be too mean, but always honest and truthful.
Right. Just truthful and honest. And
sometimes honesty can hurt, especially if they're on the defense.
But I think sometimes women need to know or hear that they're not alone.
Absolutely.
Because back to the highlight reel, when every single day all you're hearing, because also that same thing too, you go to work and are all the people at work going to tell you they're bad news, or are they just...
No, and I don't think we want to hear that either, but it does get a little superficial just to be like, yeah, everything's great, everything's fantastic, we're just fine, and it's be quiet.
And then and it makes you feel bad. You're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, what's my problem then?
Yeah, what's our problem? And it's a me problem. I can see you're gonna be your problem.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So they're not here to defend themselves, so we won't go too hard. But the circle of trust is here, and I don't think we're going to say anything that wouldn't be agreed upon. And a lot of it's calling ourselves out, right? A lot of it's looking inward at us and what, how we could possibly make it better, even though they need to do it too.
two-way street.
That's right. And sometimes it's not.
No, sometimes it's not.
And we're more emotional and feeling driven. And so they might be more logical. And we're trying to be like, you know, have them just listen to our feelings without solving our problem. And all they want to do is solve our problem. And I don't need the problem solved.
Right. We've talked about that. Like, my husband had the audacity too. Like, I came at him with a problem or something. I'm mad about something. I'm irritated about something. And I'm like, hey, I got this thing. And there's da 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 da. And all I need him to do is be on board.
Right.
Or be on my side, not give me logic.
Right. Just back me up, support me. Look, today we hate Joanna. That bitch is crazy. Sorry if anybody's named Joanna. But I'm just saying, today we're not liking Joanna, so he better say, that bitch Joanna, what is she doing?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I don't know why I chose Joanna. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Joanna.
But I think it's good because I don't know any of them. So
But I apologize to all Joanna.
But yeah, like you said, like, okay, here's my pitchfork. Where are we going?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the keys are in.
Can we grab Starbies on the way? Like, I don't understand the problem.
Yeah. I don't need you to solve my problem. I just need you to be here for me and listen and not.
And it's not to put them down, but most of the time, if we can vent about it or get angry about it and talk about it, we're probably going to solve our own, like, we know what to do. Not saying that his advice won't help. Like, we know how we're going to handle it. Right now, we just want to be mad. We just want to be mad, and we want to have somebody mad with us.
And to be fair, most of the time I know that I'm probably being unreasonable.
Right. Joanna didn't do anything, but we don't like her today.
Right. And sometimes I just need like that sounding board. I just need to get it off my chest because, again, I don't like to be an ugly person. And so rather than me do or say something that I shouldn't elsewhere.
Right. Just let me have a safe space.
Yeah. I come to my person and tell my person. And when my person tries to solve the dilemma for me, I'm like, no, sir.
No.
The dilemma didn't need to be solved.
No. Well, and then I think it turns into some of us sometimes feeling, okay, this isn't a safe place to share something because we'll either feel judged or you're just going to solve our problem. So it might take us a few minutes to be like, do I even really want to go to him with this? Because all I really need is to feel backed up and supported.
Yes.
And when you discard my feelings or when you come at me with logic, how dare you? Then the next time that happens, maybe I am going to call my bestie because she's going to be like, where's that bitch live? We're going right now.
Right. And I know that my best friend is there for me all the time, right? Also, like, at the end of the day, push comes to
Notice how I didn't say which.
Yeah.
I didn't say which because there is no other. So yeah, I didn't say which.
Right. But like, sometimes your husband is your person.
Right. Absolutely.
And like, that's your ride or die. And so there's times I would like to tell him things because, again, communication, right? Like, I tell him all the time, hey, I know you got like your sports guys and all your bets and all that stuff that you're texting all day, every day, but don't forget that there's this other person.
Me, hello. Yeah.
Who needs the attention and wants to talk about things too. So like, if you're going to talk to, don't come at me with sports. Don't come at me with sports.
Okay. I don't mind the sports, especially if we're talking about the Dodgers, which, by the way, hello, go Dodgers. But and I love to watch college football, but he likes to watch, like, he likes that stuff, but then he likes to watch super random things like cricket and curling. Oh, yes. And like wheelchair tennis, and which those guys are amazing. Like,
wheelchair tennis?
Yes.
And they're good.
They're amazing.
Impressive.
But I don't want to watch it.
Yeah. Look at when I
first cricket, which I don't understand anyway. What the hell?
When I first started dating my husband, I realized that it didn't matter what time of day it was, that there was some sport on 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah.
and he was constantly watching it. And
Yeah.
so I realized early on in the relationship that it's the whole, if you can't beat them, join them.
Right.
And
Right.
I was going to make myself miserable if I detested sports. But I grew up
Right.
in a very no sports house. Not that my dad just
Which is
watched it.
not
No,
mine.
he watched it, which is
Yeah.
very abnormal. I didn't realize sports really existed until I started like cocktailing and bartending. And then it needed to matter in my world.
So high school volleyball, then you were like, oh, here's a
Yes,
team
high school
sport.
volleyball, sure, but like, and Friday night football, like,
Right.
I get it, but it's just funny. And so, anyways, I do enjoy some sports, not all sports. I definitely have like a hierarchy.
Yeah. What about bowling, watching bowling or darts?
I can't bowling because I feel like they all get strikes, and I'm like, okay, so when is somebody not gonna get a strike?
And the noise the curling noise, if you've ever watched curling, the noises they make curling and or bowling.
So close your eyes and just listen.
Okay. And then when he watches female curling, the noise, like, I just can't.
You're like, babe, I can't.
I can't. I'm out. I'm out. You want to watch hockey? No problem. Baseball? Absolutely. I'm down. Football?
Now I gotta download women's curling just so that I can
Good luck to you.
Okay.
Good luck to you.
That's what he's talking.
No, but I guess it could be sexy, but it's more angry. It's like, huh.
Maybe she's in charge. She's the dominatrix type.
They sometimes sound like they're in pain. I don't know. Maybe that's
All right.
I don't know.
All right, y'all. We're gonna download some curling just so we can get some background noise.
Yeah. Yeah. But okay, did you ever watch Yellowstone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So how come when Rip can tell Beth, I don't have time to deal with your shit today, and he looks so sexy doing it, but when my husband tells me that, I don't have the same response.
Yeah.
Like,
Because-
literally, babe, I need to talk to you. Babe, I need, like, there's this, I don't have time to deal with your shit today. Oh, and then I'm just like,
And
but
I'm
when
angry.
Rip does it.
And then I'm angry.
Yes,
I'm angry. My
yes,
husband tells me I
yes.
don't have time for your shit. I'll be like, oh, you want to see some shit? It's like he just like lit a match.
Yep. And it's not, he actually doesn't say those words. It's more like an annoyed glance or I'm met with silence, something like that. It's usually not the words, and that even pisses me off even more. I'm like, if we're gonna passive aggressive this thing, it's on, bitch. Let's go.
Yeah. Or don't tell me to calm down, because no woman in the history of ever has
calmed down.
when you
Right.
calm
What are
down.
you? You're insane. Are you asking to be murdered? I'm just saying.
Yeah. Again, back to you just lit the fuse, sir.
Right. But so then I have to be very like cognizant of like, okay, he just came off of a 96. I have to make sure he, is taken care of. I have to make sure he's been fed. I have to make sure, like, they don't ever do that shit for us. What the hell?
I do have to give my Jeffrey some kudos. When I started nursing school, before that, like, I did like most of the things. I can't say all of the things, but I did most of the things. And when I started nursing school, like a couple months in, there came a point where like I just shut down. Like I had I didn't have the brain capacity to do the things that I had been doing. And with Grace, he picked up that ball and he kept on running with it. And
That's
so
amazing.
Now that he's in nursing school, the first year was great, but now he's starting to hit those really hard classes. And so now that ball is getting tossed back to me.
To you.
And
it's been a nice break, but here you go. But I think that's all things we were talking about before we hit record. Sometimes, it's never 50-50. Like
No.
if you're getting into marriage to have 50-50, then you're getting into a bad marriage because it's not going to be. And like you had said, sometimes it's 0-100.
Yeah.
Just depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
And like you said, you have to give grace. You have to show, mercy. You have to show forgiveness. But I think what's interesting is when it is a crisis, like maybe crisis is not the right word, but when they do need to step up, when they're pushed, when their back is against the wall, they do. And it's like, oh, you were capable.
You did know.
Oh, you. So I don't always have to carry the mental load. I see. I think.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think that's a sign of a good partner. That's somebody that like steps up when the time comes, when the need comes. Right?
Yes.
I mean, sure. I mean, I'll out myself. Like, if you're going to do the dishes all the time, because you know that I hate to do the dishes, I am not going to take the initiative to do the dishes because I hate the dishes.
Yeah.
And so in my head, again, that's me outing myself because if you're going to do them, then I'm going to let you do that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. But the second you then tell me, but how many times have you won't, men don't think the way we do, right?
Mm-mm.
So how many times have you been like, hey, I wish you would have recognized this cue, and
they don't. They don't.
They don't.
They don't.
You literally need to tell them, hey, I need you to do this, or hey, I need you to help me with this, or I need you to see that I'm feeling this kind of way, and I need you to help. They don't take those girly cues.
No.
Do they know that if I say I'm fine,
I'm not fine?
Like, yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I guess mine does.
If I say fine, he's like, oh no, something's wrong. What's happening?
Maybe. I mean,
even my kids know that.
Yeah, my kids know it.
Mom's not fine.
He tends to just kind of ignore if I'm in a mood, and so he won't ask me about it, so he won't have to deal with it.
Because if we ignore it, it's not happening.
It's not happening. And then he doesn't have to get involved. Yeah.
La.
Yeah, exactly.
If I don't acknowledge it, it's not happening.
Right. Well, and when we talk about, the romance of everything and the things you do in the beginning of a relationship that don't really last, I think you and I have talked about this. What is the number one reason people get divorced or separate or, they fall out of whatever it is? The number one reason, most people say money or infidelity or all of these reasons. No, the number one reason is expectations.
Met expectations.
But because we build it up in our head,
mm-hmm.
I have an expectation he should have taken out the trash. I have an expectation he should have done the dishes. And he's over here, dancing puppets in his brain thinking everything's hunky-dory. Right. And then we explode and he's like, what the fuck is your problem?
What just happened?
What just happened?
Like the carpet just got ripped out from underneath. Like I didn't even see that coming.
Yeah. And there was no slow buildup according to them, even though we've been asking them to take out the trash for 3 days. Like,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we talked about it. So then this is where marriage. I say all the time, I love you always, but I do not like you.
Yeah.
Every day.
There's not every
days where he can breathe. And I'm like,
yes.
I don't know what it is about you right now, but I do not like you right now.
Yes.
But I love you.
Absolutely. That doesn't change. That's constant.
Yeah. That doesn't go.
But it's, when I get overstimulated and I'm just like, I can't have one more kid crawling on me. I can't have the dog crawling on me. I am just like, I'm crawling in my own skin. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't seem to pick up on that.
Nope.
Doesn't seem to notice that. And so I'm sort of suffering in silence, which is my own damn fault. That's my own damn fault. But there has to be that grace, as you like to say, of how can I expect him, that word expectation, how can I expect him to know what I'm going through if I don't tell him what I'm going through?
Right. And I'm my own worst enemy here too, because I will go, gosh, doesn't he see me being quiet today? And
Right.
doesn't he see that I am not engaging? Doesn't he see that I'm not doing this? Doesn't he
They don't.
see?
I don't know. They don't.
They don't.
We do. Oh my
Right.
gosh, if he's gone like introverted quiet, I'm like, what the fuck's what's the matter? Let's talk about it.
Let's
Yeah.
Mm-mm,
Yeah.
mm-mm. But their brain's not wired like
I
ours
know.
are. And then we sit there and we go, okay, well, what's wrong? Oh, well, he must not love me because
Right.
he's not.
Or he doesn't care about me.
So,
Right.
yeah, and we go down these things, and then you go, okay, well, I have to lower my standard or my expectation.
Yeah, I don't think it's standard.
Yeah,
I think
sorry.
it's
It's
yeah.
expectation. I have to lower my expectations of, and this is where the unmet expectations comes from. I don't want to say that it's like I'm lowering my expectations. I just want to say that I just need to realize that they don't compute the same. Their brains don't work the way, they're not wired the way we
Right.
are, and they don't compute
Right.
the same way we do. So me expecting that my husband is supposed to come to me and be like, hey babe, I realized that something's wrong with you today. Let's have a conversation about it. I've learned that I just need to be like, hey, something's bothering me and I need to talk to you about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just gonna, and I'm gonna fester in that and go,
Yes.
why
Stay in that
isn't
loop.
he?
Yeah.
Why isn't he? Why isn't he? And that's poison to us because
To us. Because then we feel like our needs aren't being met. Then
Yeah.
we feel ignored. And he's got no idea. And I think you and I have talked about this before, not on the show, but just in general. But it's when you talk about communication, the book that I like to reference is Men Are Like Waffles, Women Are Like Spaghetti. And this is one of my favorite references because it really does kind of give a picture of what's happening, right? So men are the waffles. Picture the Eggo waffle, right? Everything, there's a little box everywhere.
Yep.
You pour that syrup on there, and systematically the syrup goes from one box to the next box to the next box to the next box. And that's men, right? When they're driving, they're in the driving box. When they're going to work, they're in the work box. When they're watching sports, they're in the sports box. Like it's very systematic with them. When they realize they have to deal with their wives, that's another box. Like it's just very, right? Okay, now opposite now, picture a plate of spaghetti with sauce. And if you follow that one spaghetti noodle all around the plate, it's touching there's not one part of it it's
Sure.
not touching. Kids, spouse, parents, siblings, friends,
What I have
work,
to do today?
dog.
Working out.
Yeah. Yes, work, yes, nutrition, going to the groceries, like everything is intertwined because we can't there's no separation for us.
Yeah.
So we don't understand if it's all connected for us, why isn't it connected for them?
Yeah, I can't just like pack it up in a neat little box.
I can't.
And store it in the back of my brain.
No.
But that's definitely what men are able to do. They put it in a little box, they pack it up, and they throw it in the back.
Yep.
And they don't worry about it until they have to pull that box back out.
Pull it back out.
Yeah.
When I'm driving, I'm not in a driving box. I'm thinking about what I'm making for dinner, or do I need to go to the store and pick something up? Oh, wait, which kid has sports tonight? Okay, what am I doing next weekend? Right. Oh, wait, I have to, record with Channa. Like everything is happening at one time.
And then we try to shut that shit off at night and go to sleep.
Try being the operative word.
I said try. I said try. Because, that just trying to turn our brains off and go, hey, it's okay to let all that go right now.
Yeah.
Is very difficult.
Well, and I really do think it goes deeper than that. I think it's biological. I think it's wired in our DNA. We have what's called mother's ear, right? You sleep less soundly than your partner does because we are wired to hear the babies cry. Sure. So we're the ones to get, when we're kicking our husbands in the bed, don't you hear the baby cry? My husband could sleep through a freight train. I am not like tornado, freight train, whatever. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
To be fair, he has bad ears, and I'm going to out myself because I only have one good ear, my left ear. I also wear a hearing aid a lot of times.
Okay.
I'm at work, and so
yes,
when I sleep, I don't. Okay, in sleep, I sleep less soundly than my husband. He's out, but
yes,
when we're like just sitting around, I don't hear shit.
Yeah,
They'd be like,
I get
"Did
I
you
get
hear
that.
that?" And I'm like, "Hear what?" But in sleep, yes. Because yes,
I give him grace for that, but it wasn't like that when the babies were little.
the
And
baby's
he
little, sure.
yeah, no, and it
He
was still completely
maybe he had bad ears and you just it wasn't diagnosed yet.
look at you trying
Trying
to
to give
stick
him a
it
little
up.
bit of grace. I don't know.
We're sticking up for the Jeffs. Don't Jeff it up,
Oh,
Jeffs.
yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
So,
No, I can see that, but sleep is different.
sleep is definitely different. Yeah, I had a tough time sleeping last night because I knew the Chase was out.
Right.
And I was
Mom
literally
brain.
waking up. Yeah, I was literally waking up like every half hour, checking his location, like sending a, "Hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
Hey, are you
Yeah.
still okay?"
And men aren't doing that. Not saying they don't care.
No.
They care,
Yeah.
but they're not doing that.
He woke up this
Most.
morning and looked and checked his location and goes, "Oh, he's home."
Okay. I don't need to call out the posse. We're good.
Yeah, we're all right.
We're all right. Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely we're just wired differently, right?
We are. We are.
Um,
So understanding that, even though we can be self-aware and be like, I'm the problem, it doesn't take away the feelings, right? Feelings lie to us. Feelings aren't facts, but we sometimes have all the feels, and depending our moon cycle, as I like to say, those feelings are more,
relevant
yes,
or a little bit
just
less.
big. They're bigger than maybe yes.
Yes. And I think that he started to realize that though a little bit more once our daughter came of that age, because all of a sudden he was like, "I don't understand. She was so sweet and sensitive and awesome, whatever. Yes, no, sweet yesterday. And now today she's like raging and I just don't understand." And I'm like, "Oh, hon,
See, what happened was,
cute little hormones are acting up today. It's, she needs a little bit of love and grace today." And then he'll go, "Oh." I'd be like, you know, and
yes,
he goes,
yes.
"Oh." And then he'll go back in and be like, "Okay, my baby girl, how's?" And then he comes at her with a different approach.
And that's important. But I also don't, and I don't know about you, I think we've talked about this too. I don't use that particularly as an excuse, because sometimes I'm just pissed off no matter what time of like, I don't want to use that as a crutch to be like, this invalidates how I'm feeling. Sometimes, no, I'm mad. And I'm going to be mad, and you're just going to have to deal with it. And it doesn't have anything to do with that type of, right? You know what I mean? And so I don't like that being like, oh, I can see this is going to be a bad day, or whatever the slide comment's going to be. And it's going to be like,
Oh
no.
my God. And please do not chalk up my bad mood to, "Oh, are you PMSing?"
Right. Do not. I got a few for you. Yeah.
And even if I was, why would that matter?
That's not relevant
How
right
I'm
now.
feeling right now.
Yeah.
Don't discount my feelings.
Yes,
that's
exactly. Don't gaslight me.
Don't
dismiss me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because my feelings matter. I know that they're not your feelings and you think that I'm ridiculous and you think I'm crazy, but don't discount my feelings just because those aren't the feelings that you're having.
Right. Or that you ever have feelings.
Yeah. And so, yes, we've definitely had to have
Sometimes I tease him like, hello, are you the Tin Man? Like, didn't this bother you somehow? No, it's fine. Okay, but it didn't get into your skin a little bit? No, but the guy who cut you off on the freeway, we have to hear you rant about for 15 minutes. But the one thing that I would think you'd be like, that, that sucked, or what? Like, it's like, it's whatever.
right.
No,
But
no, it's not whatever.
Same thing with us.
Right. I know.
Why does that matter to her? Why does that matter to her right now?
It matters.
It matters.
It matters.
Because I said that it mattered right now, and so it mattered. So we're mad at Joanna right now, okay?
Right. We're mad at Joanna right now.
Back to Joanna.
Right. I don't know why I said that name. I don't.
I mean, it's it's fine. I love it.
Yeah. So what about the time when you might get a cold and he might get a cold. Are there equal? Oh, do spell the truth. Go on. Tell us.
I hate this like stereotypical, but like when mom's sick, I still have to this is the great thing. I have great family.
Yes.
When I'm really sick,
Yes.
like Coop will make me like soup, and Keegan will make sure I have my heating pad, and like
Yes.
Jeffrey will make
Yes.
sure that I have all my medicine and stuff like that.
Yes.
But I'm still expected to do the things, and I'm still like, I'm a couch potato, but I still have to do the things. And
Yes.
when
Yes.
men get sick, it's the end of the world.
As we know it.
Babe, I'm dying. And I go, okay. And so my job as nurse mom is to over medicate him so that he is like, I don't give him NyQuil 24/7, but I want.
But
he
there
really-
might be Benadryl, then NyQuil.
Yeah,
then
here's Benadryl with your Dayquil, and then here's NyQuil at night. Just sleep.
Yeah.
Because if you
Yeah, they can't move. They can't move.
Yeah.
Like they just can't move. And I'm like,
But to be fair, like, he doesn't get sick that often.
yeah, correct. And knock on wood. I'm knocking on wood that doesn't happen. And
Yeah.
I see that as, okay, I'm happy to, give them a little extra attention. They need,
Yes.
they need to feel better.
That's what they need.
But I'm met with, you have everything you need? I think so. Okay, let me know. And then it'll be like, texting, I need something. And it'll be either video games or sports watching or whatever. And it's like, I could really use this, do you mind getting? And I ask like so nicely. And then like 10 or 15 minutes go by and it's like, I'll just get up and get it myself.
Just do it myself.
Right. And then, an hour later, he'll come back in. Oh, I just saw your text. Did you need anything? I'm good.
It's all right. I got it.
I'm good.
I definitely use and abuse probably sometimes my children on that. I'll be like, oh, because we have 3 floors in the house. So if we happen to be on a floor that I need something on a different floor, I'll look at the kids and be like, who wants to go to the 3rd floor?
Yes.
And find my
something.
Yeah. So they're but yeah, I just think that it's there. The difference is funny, and I think that this stereotypical, there's a stereotype there for a reason.
Well, because I think it's universal. I think it's, across the board.
Kudos to those handful of women that are married to men that break that mold. I would like to hear from you.
Yes, I would love to hear your story of that. Yes. And when it's serious, like you said, when you're super ill, obviously, like when I was recovering from my cardiac event, like I couldn't even take a shower. I couldn't dress myself. So he was right there.
And this goes back to when there's an absolute
crisis,
whatever, they step up and you go, oh, wow. So you did know. And it makes, I don't know, does it make you appreciate it that much more because it's so few and far in between?
In that moment, yes. But you can't help but be like,
later.
Oh, so you did know where the extra soap was. Okay.
Well, like later then go, oh, but I know that you're capable of doing this. So.
Right. And I don't expect you to wash my hair every time. Like I could, but I couldn't even put my hands up over my head. Like I needed help. And so, so yes, when it's that important, they do step up. They don't miss a beat. They try, to make sure that you have everything. There was a point I was, passing out in the shower because the water would be too hot and they had me on the low blood pressure medicine, which I didn't need low blood pressure. So I was going down for the count and he's like holding me and I'm just... So yes, that's my good Jeff.
Yeah.
But Again, when he wants to talk to me like Rip, but he doesn't have a cowboy hat on to do it, we have problems.
Beth, I don't have time for your crazy.
I don't have your time for your shit.
Oh, that's Beth? I don't know.
Maybe if
Beth, I don't have time for your crazy today.
Yeah. Maybe if they dress like Rip. I don't know.
Cowboy hat. My husband would never. I know he would.
Yeah.
I know. So, okay. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about in terms of relationships, and this kind of hinges off what we've been talking about, is that when you've been with somebody, whether it's a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 17 years, 20 years, doesn't matter. Eventually you fall into some sort of a routine, especially when you have kids, because, kids have to go to school. You're making them lunches, you're making them breakfast, or you're picking them up, or you're taking them here, and you have work. And so there's this routine, and routines are really nice because it helps keep the family going. But
stability,
a little bit of controversial opinion here. I think that routine can be dangerous for a relationship, because routine can take away, people forget that you have another person with feelings and desires and wants. And so people forget to do the things to continue to make sure that your person stays in love with you. Because I did say that, yes, I love you always. I don't like you always. But I think that you can love someone but not be in love with somebody. In love with somebody takes the work. That's the part. Takes the time and the effort and the work.
And that's the commitment part. Right?
Yeah.
Because the other stuff is kind of, like you said, routine. So it actually kind of becomes easier, second nature. We're not really even thinking about it.
Right.
We're not making this other person a priority because the kids are coming first or whatever is busy going on. Yes. And so routine can almost be replaced with the word rut, because it's just, it happens and you get ignored, they get ignored, and you just, you realize the good for the better of the picture, but you're missing that effort.
Right. And you're neglecting yourself, and you're neglecting your partner.
Yes.
And that's when complacency happens. And that's when you fall out of love with somebody. And I think that it's so important that we realize that we need to be putting the effort in, because staying in love with somebody takes effort and takes work.
It takes making them a priority.
Yes. And absolutely, that we've talked about, like, I was telling Chase, as he's, new in relationships and all of this, is that I am not the same person I was at 20. I am not the same person I was in my 30s. And they say the only constant in life is change. And so you need to find somebody who you can change with, who you're willing to change with, who you also understand they're not going to be the same person as the years go on. And so you guys have to learn together, and you have to grow together. And that also then means growing and understanding that in this point in my life, this is the person that I am. So how do I stay in love with that person? And the only way that you can do that is by putting in the work.
Right. Well, and that's the hard part.
People get divorced because they go, I don't know if
it's not easy anymore. It shouldn't be so hard. It is hard. If you're getting married because you think this is going to be easy, look, the wedding part is easy. The wedding night is easy. That's great. But the marriage, the commitment that you're making to another person, to commit in a marriage, it's hard. I read somewhere that it was something like, make sure after all of the, chasing and romance and all of that stuff, when that falls away, because it will, the person left, make sure they're the person that on your worst day, when you're, something, God forbid, happens to your family, your, family members, something like that, they're the person that you want right next to you, because it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Well, I had read something similar along those lines that talks about how, yes, your parents are important. Yes, your friends are important. Yes, your kids are important. But the most important person should be your partner because your parents die. Sometimes friends wax and wane and come and go, and your kids move on.
Grow up.
Because if you've done a good job as a parent,
They're ready to go.
they will fly the nest and go make their own lives. And so the only person you have left is your spouse. So if you have not made that person your priority, you're
Now
gonna be
what?
left sitting there going, I don't know who this person is.
I don't even know who this is.
I don't know who I am with this person.
Right.
I didn't put in the work. I love you, but I'm not in love with you.
Right.
And then
And that's the saddest part.
it is.
That's the saddest part because you've wasted the better part of 20 years or more to, have this stranger staring back at you and now what?
Right. And you realize, wow, I don't even know this person. I knew who this person was 20 years ago when we started this journey.
Sure.
But I don't know who that person is now.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really to make that a priority. I mean, and there's ways to do that. They talk about make sure you always schedule a date night, make sure you're always doing, and those things are great. But I even like to take it a step further and be like, I want to make sure, like you were talking about the sports, I have to choke this down because I know this is an interest of theirs. Okay. So I have to do something that is probably not a want to for me, but because it's an interest for them.
Right. Well, that's where golf came about for me. Never in a million years did I think I'd be playing.
See, I liked golf, but
no, you did. But that also came from your dad.
I know.
You had that.
I know.
You had that with your dad. So that's
the only time I could ever spend time with him is if I went to the course with him.
Right.
So I mean, essentially.
You had that. You had that special. And so, yeah, that was why I picked up golf because I was like, last year was a rough year for us. That was one of those years where it was a learning curve where we both had to go, okay, I'm a different person as I have a new career and this and that and the other.
Yes,
and he wanted a new career and we just had to figure our shit out and go, right, we're different people. How do we, 12 years later, how do we continue to make sure that we are on the same page and we are growing together? And I know who you are and you know who I am. So it was this learning curve, and thank you because you helped me immensely.
Oh, well, you're so sweet. You guys did it, and I did nothing.
But you gave me some of the tools, and then again, but you're right. We had to sit down and we had to put in the work, and we had to
absolutely
get together and go, okay, I love you. I want to be in love with you forever and ever. Amen. And the only way to do that is to put in the time,
work
and the energy, and
almost like a renewal of your commitment. But the commitment only almost means more at that point because everything's not, the centerpieces and the matching dresses and the walks on the beach. It's now we are knee deep in shit. And we've got two choices. We've got two roads.
Right. And it does. It almost, it is. It's like a recommitment to each other. And it does. It feels so different and so much better because now you can go, oh, okay. I mean, I'm choosing you again. Like,
right. I keep choosing.
That feels great too, is to be able to look at each other and go, okay, I still choose you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in 10 years, when we're different people and we have to come to,
you gotta do it all over again.
All over again. Like when you can win that battle and you can look at each other and go, okay, I still choose you. I choose us. Like that's heavy and that's great because it's not all rainbows and butterflies.
It isn't. Well, and let's remember too, sometimes, and I'm speaking for myself, sometimes that part where you're choosing you might be the only one in that conversation because they're not ready to have that conversation or they're not even aware or they've got so much stress or whatever they're dealing with. You have to essentially pull the both of you along to make that commitment because.
And that's where that 100-0 comes in. And you're like, okay, if you can't put in anything, I'm going to put in.
I've got you.
Everything.
Yep.
And
I've got you.
Fight and I'm going to pull and I'm going to pull us through. And those are the really hard parts too, where
Yeah.
a lot of people just cut and run.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, depending on the circumstances and whatever, I don't blame. Like, there's no judgment here. It's individualized for everybody. And there's a lot of, I think both sides, men and women, who have pulled it along, who have tried to make it keep going or whatever it can do. And, it's interesting. What is it? It takes two people to get into a relationship, and it's super easy to get married, but it only takes one person to get out of a relationship, and
Yeah.
the divorce is incredibly hard. Like, it's not easy. You can't just sign the paper like you did with the marriage license. And it's like, this is ass backwards. Like, it should be a long journey of making sure that's your person,
Right.
not,
Yeah, but
maybe jumping into it. Well, we do. Oh, we do.
We have
We do.
those
I'm
amazing
guilty for that.
feelings.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's where, like, but that's not the reality of life, right? That's not the
No,
reality
it
of
isn't.
marriage. And so
isn't.
we need to realize that, again, the commitment and the
Yeah.
energy. But like you said, people, if I'm willing to put in 100%, how long am I willing to put in for 100% and pull along this 0 before you finally get worn out and you just say, okay, I can't. Enough isn't
I think, right. And I think that's different for everybody.
100%.
Yeah.
That is definitely different for absolutely everybody. And
And there's no judgment either way. It's whatever you have to decide is good at that moment, and what you have to decide. And a lot of the times the other person is so disengaged. They've carried the mental load for so long. They've done all of the things, and it's just like, I don't have anything left. I've given you everything. There's nowhere to go with this.
Well, and it's a conversation I don't think that I ever like this whole falling out of love and then having to like rekindle. I don't think that I ever like thought that was a conversation you should have with your partner.
Right. It should be easy. If it gets hard, then it's not worth it or whatever. Right.
But, last year taught me something different. Okay. Those are things that we need to talk about because
Yeah.
if this
Well, and it's scary. And again, the feelings and it, trying to work a logical problem with an irrational, situation. Like, it's too much.
Square peg, round hole.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And then you have to like try to, but again, you both have to come to, like they say, you both have to be willing to work on the relationship. And I don't necessarily disagree, but I don't necessarily agree either. I feel like as long as nobody's giving up.
Right.
Like if
Right.
you're like, yes, eventually it's going to take two of you to work, but as long as one person doesn't give up, both of you don't give up, because sometimes even when one person's give up, the other person can like, okay, no. Again,
Bring it back.
I will carry you. I will carry us to the finish line.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just
takes guts. No guts, no glory.
Yeah, no guts, no glory. But
and the moral is it's hard. It's tough.
Yep.
And I think, we always talk about the social media influence that is out there and the picture perfect life and, oh, I want what they have. And, oh, this looks, so why doesn't he treat me like this? Or why isn't it like that? Like, we have to make sure we are living in reality and what that is, because that can be detrimental too.
Mm-hmm. And not looking at the other people's relationships, because again, not all men
can't compare
equal.
And
so there's some men that do a little bit more. There's some men that do a little bit less. And so to go, oh, how come my husband might do things on the side and in the background, but I will stand on everything and say he will never get on this podcast, or he will never like be in a podcast with me, or he will never do like a cute little dance or whatever, like, hey babe, there's a TikTok, I would like to do it with you. Like, he would never
say never. I don't know.
I don't foresee that. But but there's other husbands that would be like, yeah, sure, I'll do that for you. Sure. So like everyone's a little bit different, and We just can't hold our own husbands or our own marriages up against anybody else's.
No,
because
no. And especially not social media.
no,
Especially nothing that's unrealistic. And like, you know, you see all these reality shows and they have it appears they have the perfect marriage, and then you hear after the reality show's done taping, they're ready for divorce. Like somewhere along that didn't just happen overnight.
No.
Like somewhere along the
no,
line.
because it no longer was a reality show. What it was it was an acting show because they were
Right.
acting for the sake of the reality
Exactly.
show. So it was no longer reality. It was just another sitcom,
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That was deep tonight.
I know,
was
but I felt
deep.
like it was necessary just to talk about it, and
Yeah.
because it's
More truth.
yeah, it is tough, and it's another layer of weathering this storm and this thing that we call life, and life throws you lemons sometimes, and you just gotta pick it up and make lemonade.
With vodka. No, okay.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I don't know why I said that.
I love it. Vodka lemonade coming up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew McConaughey. What can I say? Never gets old. So yeah, I think I love it. I would love to hear any other truth babe out there that maybe has a different take or different I don't know, maybe you're married to a rip and you get told all the time, I don't want to hear your shit. I don't know.
Yeah, and then you're like, yes, daddy.
Well, really quick though, I do also think it has a lot to do with if women feel safe, if women feel like they're being led, and I don't mean like they can't think for themselves or they're not independent, but to be in a leader's presence, to have a mental load shared. Like all of these things are super important to go along with making a priority for each other, making sure you're not in that routine or rut. Like it's a whole packet. It's a whole problem algorithm thing that you got to put in all of the stuff to make the soup, the turtle soup.
Mm-hmm.
Duck soup? Turtle soup?
I think it's turtle soup.
Turtle soup. I've never had turtle soup. Okay.
I don't know. Oh, that.
All right.
Stuff
That's it. I love it. It's weird to end on turtle soup, but we're going to do that. And love you, truth babes. And we'll catch you next time.
Peace out.